Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Super Game Brothers podcast, a weekly podcast all about video games. I should also mention we're a family-friendly podcast, which I think is one of our differentiators. Yeah, we love video games. We play a ton of them and talk about them every single week in different deep dives or just kind of conversations about what we've been playing, or maybe a little mini review. Or today we're going to do a fun little segment about our top 10 Donkey Kong games. So it's a fun time here at Super Game Brothers. My name is David, and I'm joined every week by my brother, Devin. Devin, it's been about a week since our last episode. We got the new studio set up in the basement that we talked about last episode. How are you after another week?
I'm fantastic, sir.
Awesome.
Yes. What's new with me? Been doing some streaming. I went on went on a longboard ride. Yeah, everyone needs to do that. Great time. Just like we did last year. We drive 2 cars to one place, take 1 car back, longboard back to the first car, drive home. Right?
Then
all
you drive
making
back to the
sense.
second car and drive home.
Exactly.
That's
So we longboarded like 6 miles, got some sun.
That's like, I used to like longboarding quite a bit as a teenager. I almost got hit by a car once. And I was like 17, 18. And I think since then I've been a little more afraid. And now as a 35-year-old, I think I would be terrified to stand on one of those.
There's a moment or like a couple hours of riding them as we're older where you kind of have to morph back into that bravery because it feels sketchy at first.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't trust your legs anymore.
Yeah.
Like jumping off that thing to stop or something.
I'd break my knee. Or something.
Exactly. It feels risky. You feel very old when you're doing this. But when you're scared, you just sit down and you look like a fool right next to the highway, sitting on a skateboard, mobbing down a hill. But
sit down, huh?
Oh, yeah. Sit
Just
on that
rip your
longboard.
pants? Oh, no, you'd sit down right on the board.
Right on the board. Oh, yeah. And I put my feet on the board and my butt.
So how do you do it if you were standing? Can you go from standing to sitting?
Oh, no. You
would sit down prior to the hill.
Prior to the hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's some very steep hills.
You wearing helmets?
Totally. No, probably should because I get a little extra brave, a little too brave out there. Ooh. I almost hurt myself, yeah. But yeah, getting a little bit of sun recently, trying, not like you. He's out golfing, getting all the sun. I did 2 new things today. I got to try to physically remove RAM from my computer. I've only ever dabbled with RAM a little bit.
Yeah. It like clips into the slots.
Yeah, it's kind of satisfying.
It is.
I also don't like touching the stuff because have you ever been to a car show? They're like, don't you dare put your finger on that paint. The body oil is going to ruin that paint.
That Ferrari, yeah.
And I'm going to ruin your life. It's the same thing with like, that's how I'm programmed to look at hardware and computers. I'm like, I don't know what to do with you.
For sure.
I need a plastic bag to put you in. And like, I need sleeves like your cards.
Yeah. And I see people online, like they'll wear special gloves and they'll get these little like metal things to like discharge like any electric current from their skin first before they touch the components.
You know what I did unintentionally before touching the components? I unplugged it. I turned all the power off and then sat there and brushed my socks against the carpet that it's sitting on to create static electricity. And then I just went all in.
Nice. You're trying to explode it?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you were touch the light switch or something to get rid of it, but
no, I legitimately kneeled right down next to it on the carpet with socks on and was just like, I'm taking this out.
I've never been very careful with it either, and I've never had a problem.
I don't want to get shocked. Someone asked me the other day if I've ever been electrocuted, like even just by an outlet, and I don't know that I have because they said it's a very brutal, intense feeling that's kind of scary.
Once, and I was probably 10.
Yep, I don't want to. Yep,
it was scary.
Don't do that to me.
Luckily, I mean, I was just grabbing, like, pulling a cord out, and I, like, let my fingers slide over the plastic edge, and I touched one of the 2 metal prongs as I was pulling it out. So I just, like, barely got it, but, yeah, that half a second. Whew. Yeah. Sends a weird feeling through your heart.
Yeah, I'm very curious what that actually feels like.
I didn't like it. So.
What else is new with me? Oh, I tried a nighttime tea today.
Mm.
Our mom has a bunch of little tea bags.
I like a good like bedtime tea, like a throat coat or a.
Yeah, we
Have
had
like
that one.
Like a sleepy time tea or something.
Yeah, I didn't take that one.
Okay,
But
good.
I think it said steep for 7 minutes. I assume that means to dip the bag in the water.
Mm-hmm. I think that just means let it sit like in the water. A lot of
To
people
steep.
do the up and down motion to
Yeah.
like hurry up the steepage.
I didn't know steep was anything other than the angle of a mountain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, that's to steep.
So I did that today also. What else is new with me? I don't know. Just trying to manage life and all of its tasks.
Yeah.
How are you?
I agree with that. Life and all of its tasks. But no, doing good. Last weekend went on a family trip with my wife's family. They rented a cabin. It was kind of crazy. It's like in southern Utah where it's very hot.
Mm-hmm.
But the cabin was in such an elevated, like I guess elevation. Driving up to it, it was only like 65 degrees during the day.
Oh.
We like drove down the mountain to go golfing one of the days. It was like 90 when we got there, which is very warm.
So just the altitude is adjusting temperature that much.
Yeah, kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah, I feel like that's way weird.
Yeah, I agree. I was a little caught off guard by it, having to like bring a jacket in July on a camping trip.
To the hotter part of the state.
To the hotter part of our state, but it was really fun. We had the cabin. The kids ran around. They had a big like porch all the way around it, so they like brought their scooters and went in a million circles. And I like camping in a cabin because you can still shower like every day or two if you want to, which I do. I like showering, and you kind of avoid the tent and the bear. You know, you avoid some of the parts of camping that freak me out a little bit. Even though we have a tent, but I wouldn't know what to do with that bear if I saw a bear. Hey, bear! That's what everyone says to do. But
and tents are such a weak structure.
Yeah,
it's like
so yeah, cabin's nice. It had like 7 bedrooms, and every bedroom was like attached to a bathroom. It was very spacious. It was wonderful. So really enjoyed that. Went golfing one of the days. Did 18 holes with 2 of my brothers-in-law and my oldest son. So that was fun. And we went fishing one day in a little like kind of reservoir close to the cabin. Fish were not biting very much, but my 6-year-old caught one, which was nice. We rented a side-by-side, kind of like a ATV that has doors. What's the difference between?
Has a cage around it.
A roll cage with doors. And rode up some trails like into the mountain, saw some cool sights. And then every night we would laugh and play games, and it was fun. So we'll talk about some of those games probably here on the episode. But yeah, it was a good time. I'm not a camping fan, but if I'm going to camp, that's the way I want to do it, with like cabin, shower. I like fishing a lot, and I like golfing. Love golfing. So
I didn't know you liked fishing. I get that hook stuck in that fish's face, and I'm like, do we just go our separate ways at this point, or like...
Yeah, I do like fishing. Nothing about fishing really grosses me out. Like, you know, I'll rip that worm in half, stick it on the hook, and I'll get the pliers down that fish's throat trying to get the hook out. I do feel a little bad for it sometimes because they get.
I do too.
They get really stuck, and that thing's got to be choking on those pliers.
Yeah. I feel bad as well.
Yeah,
and ripping the worm in half, that whole thing's a weird feeling.
I'm surprised by how much blood is inside a worm. You rip that thing open, and it's weird.
Sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it has a little bit of resistance. I don't know.
I like fishing. I'm not like too hardcore with it. I have one fishing pole, and it's just like a regular. What do you call it? It's just a reel.
Dude,
it's not a fly pole.
You should combine your two hobbies and have your putter as like also have like a you can fish with your putter.
That'd be
cool. You can attach a reel to your putter.
I could attach a hook to a golf ball to a string, drive that bad boy 300 yards,
right,
with the hook on it,
into the lake.
Then the golf ball could act like a little bobber out there. You see it go down. I got one. It's just 300 yards away.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, we had a fun trip. It was good. I don't know that much else is new with me, Devin. We'll do a really quick Super Movie Brothers, at least quick on my part. I only have one movie, but you are the movie man, so you might have a few more. My wife and I were talking about movies recently. We want to go see Fantastic Four and Superman, and we're behind and haven't gotten to the movie theaters, and so we haven't seen those yet. And so we got talking about superhero movies, and we don't like we like some of them, but they're not like our favorite genre. But we decided we wanted to watch Christopher Nolan's Batman series again. So we started that and watched Batman Begins. And man, it's crazy. That movie's like 19 years old, I think, or something along that timeline. And it's crazy just how much better it is than almost every other superhero movie.
They're very, very good.
They're so good. Mm-hmm. And a little bit of it is nostalgia for sure. Like Batman is probably Batman and Spider-Man are like my two favorite superheroes, and so like I'm just more drawn to it. I think that Christopher Nolan is like great at making like movies like very enthralling, and like the way that he tells his stories. And then the writer that he was paired with, I think, is David Goyer, who like co-wrote a lot of his movies as well. Like just excellent writing and characters that are so good. And so movie's very old. If you haven't seen Batman Begins or The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises, like that's as pristine a comic book movie as I think you'll ever find. So love that.
I also love that. Mm-hmm. And they're very hard to compare to, in my opinion, other superhero movies, because the Christopher Nolan ones really tap into like a darkness and realism and
Batman plays into that really well because he's like just a dude, but a rich dude, and it's like dark in Gotham and
how do you compare?
And then like Spider-Man's like happy in New York City. You know, it's a different vibe going from Marvel to Batman. You know,
it is. It's very, very different. Like you watch Love and Thunder, and Thor's doing the splits between two machines with these monsters on them.
Of course he is.
And AC/DC's playing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. They're both great in their own way, but the Christopher Nolan movies, I mean, Christopher Nolan is
I wish that we got more in that vein now, because I feel like there's been so many in like the happy-go-lucky Marvel vein where like for Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought like perfect fit. This works for them, that series, so well. And Spider-Man, I think it works for him pretty well. But I'm like, yeah, does Thor need to be doing the splits?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know if Thor needs to be super gritty, but
yeah, but it's kind of cool to see that gritty nature sometimes, where it's like, I don't know. It's hard because if you watch the original Thor movie, you can tell he's much younger mentally. Yeah, and he's just like, they attacked us, we attack back, father. That's what we do. And he's like, I'm pretty intense, and then he like gains a personality over the films.
Yeah.
Anyways, what movies did I watch? I watched The Assessment. Did we talk about this last time I was here?
Assessment, like test?
Yes, like The Assessment.
I don't know what this movie is.
Two individuals in this weird, I don't know if it's a futuristic world. Elizabeth Olsen and some other guy are basically applying in a way to have to be able to have children.
Yeah.
And someone comes and assesses them in person and has to look at all aspects of their life to see if they're fit to be parents, and basically that person is there to drive them absolutely freaking crazy.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. Got like really in their business.
Yeah, very interesting movie. I don't know if I recommend it or not. I don't know. Hardly remember.
I don't know.
I think I keep falling asleep while watching these films. Like I started some movie with Jason Statham the other night, and he was like, "I'm the bartender," and then I fell asleep.
And then the transporter.
And then I watched another film. What did I watch last night? Oh, Den of Thieves 2. Have you seen those movies? Mm-mm. They're actually pretty fun. Gerard Butler.
Oh, okay.
He's like I don't know if it's a bounty hunter or what he is, but in some relationship with the cops or the FBI or something, and then he's got like his own personal goals of who he's gonna catch and what he's gonna do. So I thought the original movie was super good.
Interesting.
And then I watched the second one last night, and it was super long, but they're actually pretty fun movies. I'm sure I've watched some other things. I rewatched some of the Insidious films for some odd reason. I've seen them 36 times, but watch some of those. I'm sure I've seen other things.
You are the movie man.
I do like to have something to watch. For some reason, it gives me this happiness before bed.
Oh, I love it too. If I had enough time, I think we'd watch a movie every night. Like
Yeah.
popping popcorn and getting a blanket on the couch. Like that's the best. So good.
It is.
I think we'll continue the Dark Knight trilogy. But I don't know if I was telling Lace that we should like rewatch Spider-Man because we we watched the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies last year, which
Amazing.
Mostly because of nostalgia are like my favorite ones, even though number 3 is like not very good. But the Tom Holland ones are also excellent. Like Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, like so good. And
yeah,
Michael Keaton is the Vulture in that one, also very good. Remember who was the villain in the latest one? It was
in the latest one. Well, the latest.
the latest one was like where they pulled in all the other Spider-Men and it had Doc Ock and what was that? No Way Home.
Yes, and like, are there multiple
Doctor
villains
Strange.
in that?
Yeah,
the Green Goblin was in that ish.
Yeah, that's a really fun one because it had all 3 Spider-Men in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool that they were able to pull Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in while they're still like relatively young. But now that they've done that like nostalgia grab, I hope that the 4th one, which I think just started filming, just goes back to okay, we're just gonna focus on Spider-Man now, on Tom Holland, and just let him be a Spider Dude. But it is also really weird that they made 3 Venom movies and didn't have Spider-Man in one of those like at all.
I've been very surprised. Sometimes you think there's gonna be
like
that bit of an overlap between these characters that and then you never see it happen.
Like that is the those two have to overlap. Like I don't understand how that didn't work.
Yeah, didn't he like slightly become Venom himself in 3 as Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, with the symbiote suit. So yeah, I don't know.
It'll happen. Maybe they're trying to really drag out this.
I think that Tom Hardy is done as villain or a Venom though. So I don't.
Oh really? How do you know that information?
I think I heard that like the last one was the last one he was doing. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Crazy.
Well, that'll probably do it for Super Movie Brothers.
Yeah.
Before we get into the show, just a little shout out here. Make sure to check us out on Patreon. Our Patreon for both of our shows is patreon.com/Super Game Brothers. And we just put up our podcast from, they've been up for about a week, from last week. And we've got the new format here with new logos and thumbnails. Kind of gives you an idea of what we're talking about in each episode. And then there will be different breakout segments from them. So Super Game Brothers podcast, Gaming Top Down podcast, both here on this one Patreon page. And just for $1 or $2 a month, you can get early access right into the show, vote on the games that we play and cover. So it's a fun time over there. So please check that out. And then we also have a giveaway at supergamebrothers.com. And you can get a gaming gift card or a bundle of board games. So make sure to join that as well. Totally free. The only thing you have to do, I think, is join our email newsletter. But we send like one email. It used to be one a week, but I'm a little behind. So one a month.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes one a week. So make sure to check that out as well. Okay, let's jump into our regular run of show. This is the Super Game Brothers podcast about video games, the ones we've been playing and are excited about. And Devin, this week is Donkey Kong Bonanza week.
Sure is.
We've got a couple different segments we're going to talk about here about Donkey Kong. But we're going to start with just kind of our first impressions about the game. I've been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza for probably like 5 or 6 hours. I think I just got to sub layer 400, which I think is like the 4th kind of world at this point. And I know you haven't had it, so you've only played it for a little bit here at my place, kind of before we start the podcast or whatnot. But got on the screen here, I guess, just initial thoughts. I think it's very, very pretty, first off. Like,
agreed.
I do think Nintendo, they get a lot of crap for, like, why don't you make, like, a powerful console that can play things at, like, 4K 60? And it is really nice to see Donkey Kong in, like, basically, like, somewhere around 4K, and it runs at 60 frames per second. The game's just very, very pretty. DK looks like a stud.
It looks great. I like the rebrand for him.
I do too. He looks fun. He looks like strong and bulky and big. You can change like his fur color and all kinds of outfits and ties, and they give you different perks, which is kind of a fun touch as well. So I think like aesthetically, the game looks very, very cool, and it looks really good like in motion too. Like I said, it is very smooth, like the gameplay. There are a few moments where like the frame rate will drop a little bit. It's usually when you open the map, because it like zooms out from the world and then also shows all of your destruction that you've done in the world on the map. So it's probably got a bit to like load in like a millisecond.
Yeah, it's always processing.
But other than that moment where I've gone from the world to the map, I haven't noticed like really any like drops to the smoothness yet. Maybe it gets a little crazier with different Bananza transformations later in the game. Um, but smoothness, very, very good. The game's just uber pretty. It just, I know it's made by the Mario Odyssey team. It like looks and feels a lot like Mario Odyssey. Even this like red world we're looking at here just reminds me of kind of that desert world in Mario Odyssey with like that gold lion creature that you would like ride on. So it just gives me the vibes of that game in like visually in being like very pretty as well, and kind of gameplay wise as well, which we talked a little bit about last week. In like how would we like the little mini challenges for the what are they called? Banandium gems, I think the bananas. I think they're called Banandium gems. I think there are 1,000 of them in the game. Is what I heard one place. I'm not even sure if that's correct, but that's about how many were in Mario Odyssey. And it's kind of fun to have like a little dopamine hit every like minute or two when you find a new banana. But I do prefer like the Mario Galaxy method of like, okay, we have this galaxy and we have 5 different like big objectives for this galaxy, and you have to choose one before you start, because then we're going to morph that whole world to be like, okay, this is a 5 to 10 minute challenge that is either going to be like combat focused or platforming focused in order for you to get that one star. And I do think it makes the stars, I don't know, like the high of like getting a star in Mario Odyssey is higher for me than the high of getting another Banandium gem.
I see.
In Donkey Kong Bananza. Again, I'm not super far in. Maybe that changes, but that does seem like one of the core gameplay loops they went for was, yeah, we did 1,000 moons in Mario Odyssey. We want to do a similar amount of uh, bananas here in Donkey Kong. So whether or not you loved Mario Odyssey will probably determine whether you love this game or not. And so I think that would be my one negative is I do prefer like it having a bit more weight and being like a trickier, longer challenge to get something that feels a little more worth it to me than a banana. I continuing on negative so far, I do think it's very easy. At least the combat sections. When you have to fight a boss, or you'll go into these little like challenge arena rooms. Some of them are combat focused, and all the combat ones I think are just very trivial, where it kind of matches the vibe of Donkey Kong feeling very strong, which I think they wanted him to, obviously, in this game where you can basically destroy 95% of the world if you want. But I do wish there was like one difficulty level harder where like they just added extra protection like around the enemies like weak points and like tripled their health bar or something, because it does seem a bit too easy in the combat sections. Platforming wise, I feel like it is ramping up pretty good, where like finding Cranky Kong and how to get to him. He usually has a banana that he'll give you if you can get to him and talk to him. But he's like in tricky places, like either up really high or like on some platform that you don't think that you can get to. And those have been like the most fun instances to me, is like, okay, how can I climb up? And if I hold this rock, then I can throw it for my double jump, do a roll, and then if I push the grab button in the air, it like stalls me for a second. And I can do a second roll in the air, and trying to like chain those things together into like a really cool jump pattern. Um, but it does seem like there isn't, again, as much of a focus on like hardcore platforming in this game. It's more like, can you be clever with your smashing, and um, or sometimes you can be clever with platforming instead. But I don't know. So at first impressions, I really like it. I think it's pretty. I think it's fun. Smashing stuff is a good time. Donkey Kong looks cool. Like it runs really well on the Switch. I think it's awesome. Really pumped that Donkey Kong like got his own like big game. I was very surprised as well that they didn't just do like, yeah, we got Mario Odyssey 2, because that was such a hit on the Switch. So very cool that like Nintendo shook it up a bit. But I think at this point I would give it like a, I don't know, 7.5 or 8, as far as like how enthralled and like thrilled I've been to play it. I think the fact that it's Donkey Kong has been like the pull.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a little too easy. I think the destruction's very cool, and there have been like some moments where I'm like, oh, they used that in a very cool way for that banana. But then some of them, I'm just plowing through the earth, and I'm like, oh, I found a banana by brute force, not by being clever, you know. And so it does feel like it's a game where you can do either. You can try to be clever and like not destroy stuff unless you see like hints like, okay, there's a deformation here or a discoloring of dirt, or excuse me, or it looks like they excuse me, like they want me to climb this section or avoid this uh like spiky viney material here, and so there must be some reason for that. So I'm going to climb around the backside to get around and see what's going on. And so you do feel clever doing those things sometimes. But if it took me 3 minutes to do that, I could have just been like, oh, looks like there's something over there. Smash, smash, smash. And 20 seconds later, instead of 3 minutes later, I got the same banana just by being an agent of Donkey Kong chaos instead of a smart donkey,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So I don't know if I have much more to say than that. It's very impressive, very cool. Like the fast travel and the fact that you can like in each world there's like different sub layers, so you'll be like world sub layer 300, and then you'll go down to 301, and then there's, you can slam on these barrels to shoot back up to 300, and they're kind of interconnected, and it has some cool verticality because of the fact that you can smash up and down and break stuff. So I don't want it to sound like I don't like it. I think it's awesome. um, but I do think where I want like, Donkey Kong Country level of like platforming perfection, and um, this is cool, and it seems like it has some of those moments, and maybe it will have more later in the game. Early in the game, it seems like a game my kids are going to really love when they finally get to play it at Christmas, because they'll just be able to smash anything they want and find bananas in weird ways that mostly involve smashes.
Yeah, it seems like it's definitely targeted toward kids. Kind of reminds me of a brain rot game where we're going to make it as explosive and beautiful as possible, but nothing really has a reason. Like, I have a skill tree as Donkey Kong, but the game's so easy, so why put any skill points into anything that helps me fight? It's like, if there's skills for XP and collecting items, let me just get as much gold as I can. There'll be explosions the entire time.
Yeah.
The game will be simple, but there's not much. I don't know. Obviously, I haven't played a ton of it. I only
Yeah.
played like a half hour, but
Mm-hmm.
just watching the videos I have and this video and watching you play it, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. I think that is like, as like some, I don't want to like toot my own horn, but someone that's played thousands of video games, and I would say like I'm kind of a hardcore gamer. Not that I'm very good at them, but I've played a lot of games. That is the first impression I get, is like it's too easy. I wish it was harder. Um, and I hope that it gets a bit more nuance and later on. I've still only unlocked the first uh, Bananza transformation, the big brute guy who can smash through like cement. And
Yeah.
so with the two others that I know about, seem like a bit like more useful, that could maybe have some clever things tied to them. And I know there are some secret ones that I don't know yet that like reviewers were not allowed to talk about in their reviews. So I'm hoping that there are some very cool surprises. And
Yeah.
everything I've heard is like the finale is supposed to be excellent. Um, but if the game's 40 hours long or 30 hours or however long it is, it's supposed to be pretty big. I just hope that I really enjoy more than just the last 10%, where it starts to get like
Yeah,
where
and
I'm
it's the
going for
less
100% and things getting hard. I want to enjoy the 80% before that too.
one is the last 10% just a Rainbow Road idea of just cool colors and explosions, or is it actually like skill based and difficult? It
Yeah.
doesn't seem to me like you even need a skill tree in this game. It seems like an unnecessary thing if the game is easy as pie. But then also you have to look at target audience because young people will be playing this. This might not be extremely easy for some
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's a lot of buttons. You can swing up, sideways, down. You can surf, and then yeah, you're comboing jumps and all this stuff.
Yeah. And maybe I'm so early because I have been impressed with like the movement system and how it feels to control him.
It
Like
looks smooth,
it's
yes.
smooth, like you can do pretty amazing things with the surfing and like the rolling and the like forced double jump in the air and throwing the rock down to get another double jump in the stalling. I just don't feel like it's used all of those or forced me to use all of them
Do you feel
yet.
like this is a button most people will play just spamming one punch button most of the time?
I think a lot of people will because I think it's like the simplest way to get from A to Z on
That's true.
at least in these early stages that I've played. Again, I'm probably 4 or 5 hours in, um, and I've been pretty thorough. So maybe in 4 to 5 hours, like someone that wasn't being as thorough would be twice as far as me, and
Yeah.
maybe then it does start to get trickier. That's my hope because I really want to love this game. I want to love it so bad. Um, but so far, I just like it and think it's super pretty and impressive, but I don't love it yet.
Yeah, to me, my verdict would be in my little experience here is I will have fun with this game, but I also see a ton of repetition in it and just exploding colors and not too much feeling of accomplishment because there's so many unlockables and tiny quick side missions that nothing feels that valuable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to bash on the game. It's probably amazing and I love Donkey Kong, but
Yeah.
I don't know. From what I've seen, I'm not there's nothing inside of me screaming at me to play this game constantly right now.
Yeah. Like we've had it here for you to take home and stream, and I think you've just been like, yeah, you just finish it first, and I'll do it later.
Yeah, when I initially heard Donkey Kong game, I was like, okay, okay, okay. And then you kind of had explained to me this was like Odyssey and it seems to be just these quick little mini games
And some of
that
them
are
are
like
clever, but I feel like it's only been about 10% of them to this point.
yeah, I would in my ideal Donkey Kong game, I'm too much of like a Souls-like lover. It's like bring Donkey Kong out. He's gone through a hard day, right? And he's weak and he's not doing so good. And over time, as you do things in this world, and it's kind of open but kind of linear, kind of like Bloodborne or Dark Souls, just like those games where there's options to find shortcuts and different things, but you're actually growing your character to be able to get through the game. I think you could take this default character from the second you start the game and beat final boss first try.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what the final boss is like, but
And they're going for something different,
they
obviously, with
are.
this,
Yeah,
but
I agree. Like Donkey Kong is like such a force in this world, but I would imagine like in this world, there's got to be other strong things that are also like a force. Like the new Kong that they've introduced, I think is what's his name? It's not Cranky because he's the main one. It's the heck's his name? There's a big
Funky.
No, I think it also starts with a C.
Carl.
No, I'll look it up. It doesn't matter, but he is also very big and grungy looking. He looks like he's like worked in a mine. He's like an engineer or whatever, and he like makes some of these weird like rock creatures that you fight. Um, and I'm like, man, he's like bigger than Donkey Kong. I just want him to be a force back at me, like scare me a little bit. Like,
is he an enemy?
I haven't had to fight him directly yet. Just the things he's created. But even the things he's created have been 7 times my size. And so I'm like, I want those things to scare me. Like, move a little faster at me. Like, damage me.
Oh, yeah.
It's also a little too easy to just get, like, a ton of hearts. Like, with a couple of upgrades, you can be up at, like, 5 hearts. And if you build these, like, little... it's not called a house, like a getaway or something. It's a little room. You pay gold, and they'll build you, like, a little... like safe room with a bed and like the boombox where you can listen to the different Donkey Kong music and change your outfits and stuff. The more of those you have built in a specific layer, the better the beds get at like refilling your health. And so I've built 8 in one layer, and it gives you all your health back plus 4 temporary hearts.
Oh wow.
So I'm at 5 plus 4, so I'm at 9 hearts. I'm like, this boss is gonna hit me once maybe, and I've got 9 hearts.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think as someone that just like loves Donkey Kong, I probably just went into it like wanting it to be what I wanted it to be, and
yeah, me too.
A little bit, instead of like, okay, it's been even a lot of years since Tropical Freeze, and this isn't a 2D Donkey Kong Country game. I need to just try to meet the game where it is a little bit more instead of me wanting it to be something else. So I'm going to try and play the remaining, I don't know, 3/4 of it that I have with a bit more of that attitude. And maybe I'll come around on it a bit more. Because I want this to be like 9 out of 10, like I loved it. But right now I don't feel that.
Yeah, I want to say a bunch of good things about it. Obviously, I haven't played with it too much. But from what I see currently, I mean, this to me is like Power Wash Simulator.
Yeah, I do feel like
all you're doing.
I do feel like for people that like that kind of vibe of like clearing debris, man, you can spend a lot of time in this game just doing that and getting a similar like dopamine hit on your way trying to find bananas. This boss, for example, is one of probably the second or third in the game.
Stompin' Clomper.
Were you here when I was fighting him?
No, but I'm excited to see this because I want to see if this game is difficult in any way or if it's just...
See, he just went right into banana frenzy mode.
Yeah, I don't know that they should allow you to do that so easily.
It is very easy to just like always have that charged up. So I'm trying to fight all the bosses without it. But then for this phase, you have to use it because you can only break his concrete, the silver gray material, in that frenzy mode. So that boss is dead.
Look at that. Okay. Remember, in OG Donkey Kongs, you'd have a parrot bird.
Yeah, they drop the eggs.
He's dropping the eggs. It's actually relatively difficult. There's some variation in the way the eggs bounce.
Yeah.
They start to be more eggs, and you got to catch him at the right time, and then he swoops down. What was that? That guy stood there with his snow boots on, and you punched him 4 times, and he fell over and was half dead.
Yeah. See, that's my issue. I'm like, maybe that's not one of the like 7 main boss fights. Maybe that, but it is like before you go to level 3 or wherever this is, that is the fight before level 3. And so maybe they're ramping the boss fights up slowly, but that is such an easy boss fight.
Yeah, that's once again, I don't know what they were going for. They can create their game however they want.
Mm-hmm.
But it just, to me, fighting that boss was no more exciting than fighting every enemy up to that boss.
Right, because they took 2 punches or whatever. And
yeah,
he just took 7 punches.
They're like, oh, we gave you a very lame boss. Now make sure you find 75 bananas before the next one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I will play this and I will have a good time with it, but I am curious.
Am I going to remember it like fondly in 3 years? Or am I going to be like, yeah, that's a thing I played?
No, or am I going to have a broken square button?
Yeah, that is for reals. I am pushing that punch button a lot because I think it's Y, which would be square, to punch forward, A or circle to punch down is what I changed it to, and a triangle to punch up. And then I use the left trigger a ton as well because it rolls, so you can do like a roll jump, and you get around faster by rolling. And then the right trigger is how you pick up chunks of the earth that you can surf on or throw or double jump with. So you're pushing, especially the punch button, but even though triggers, you're pushing a lot of buttons often. And that's what even makes me like more bummed at this point is like, there's such a cool move set. Like you can punch up, forward, down.
There's just no reason to use it.
Roll, but yeah, has not been a reason to use it yet. So very much hope that changes. And I think like the aesthetics and the vibe of the game, like so cool. I really hope the gameplay steps up to
bring back like Crash Bandicoot bosses. Things are timed, you're on a grid, the ground's falling, there's a kangaroo coming after you,
Yeah.
Weird, make it difficult. I'm saying a lot of negative things about the game, but I just don't know. Maybe I'm too old to enjoy this like it can be enjoyed.
I also don't know. I thought I would like the change to a boss having a health bar. Where in Nintendo games, they don't usually.
That's true.
Try to get to the weak point, and if you hit the weak point once, then the boss changes up his moveset. You hit it again, he changes it up for like a frenzied third mode, and you hit it a third time and you win.
Right.
Or for the hardest bosses, they might do it 6 times. 3 or 6 is kind of
when you had to jump on the little what was it? A mouse that you first fought in the Donkey Kong, or is that what that was? A mouse or like a beaver?
Like gopher or beaver, yeah.
Yeah, I think you had to jump on its head 6 times or something.
Yeah.
And most bosses were that way.
And I'm not sure. I think I would prefer that to what I just saw with that boss of go to the Bananza and just pummel the crap out of the health bar. Because that health bar really became 2 hits where he took it halfway down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the guy got his feet back and then he took it the rest of the way down. So I don't know if...
Yeah, maybe creative platforming to somehow get high enough above that enemy while it's also moving and avoiding you or something.
Yeah, instead of just, I'm going to smash the crap out of your feet and then punch you. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I really hope they're going to be more creative with it. And it's gotten rave reviews everywhere.
Like, everyone's loving it.
Loving. Like, I think it has a 90 on OpenCritic. And
people are going to hate my comments in this podcast.
Yeah, we've been a little harsh on it, but we've only played the first few hours. And like you said, you've only played 30 minutes. So I don't know. I hope there's a lot of surprises. I hope that the gameplay catches up as far as like ramping the difficulty at least a little bit. Not even like difficulty so much, just like more clever uses as opposed to a smash-a-thon. But anyways, I think those are my first impressions after 4-ish hours with Donkey Kong Bananza. This is actually right where I am at this branching path where you can choose the right or the left. Timing. And I'm probably going to choose this left way with the snow because I like the snow levels in Donkey Kong. So I'm going to stop here so that I don't see what is through that tunnel. Whew.
If nothing else, the game's very pretty. People are going to love it. It's going to be a lot of fun and explosive. Sure. And
absolutely.
I was being a harsh critic. Forgive me.
I was being a harsh critic as well. I think, again, mostly just because I have such high expectations for Mario and Donkey Kong games.
Especially an $80 game on a new gen.
Yeah, this one was actually $70. They didn't charge the same amount as Mario Kart, but yeah. And in my opinion, I think this one would be, just given the length that I've heard, and like how long the game is supposed to be, I would rather pay 80 for this Donkey Kong game and have Mario Kart be 70. It seems like you blasted through Mario Kart's content in like 3 hours.
Oh man, my Switch 2 is legitimately a decoration.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was a lot of thoughts, but those are our first impressions on Donkey Kong Bonanza after 3 to 4 hours. And it's kind of fun that we're like playing the game at the same time as everyone else. This isn't a first impressions that like went out months ago or whatever. So, we're playing the game alongside the rest of you. Okay, Devin, continuing Donkey Kong Day, we're going to do something a little bit fun. We haven't finished Bonanza, so Bonanza is not going to be included on this list, but I made my top 10 Donkey Kong video games of all time. Made a list, 1 to 10. There's not a ton of Donkey Kong games, and some of them I haven't played. I haven't played like Donkey Kong Congo that had the Congo drums, like on the GameCube or something. I
feel like I played that.
I've never played that one. And there's quite a few that were like that. There's like one called Barrel Blast that I've also never played. So there's some I haven't played. So those obviously aren't on my list of top 10 either. And since there's so few, I actually branched out just a little bit I included 3 games where Donkey Kong, his name's not included in the title of the game, but it's a game where he's in the game. And so but I think only 3 of them are that. So that's your hint there. 3 of them are like a Donkey Kong's included, but not like the central star. And then the other ones are Donkey Kong games. So we're going to have you guess my top 10, starting with number 10 and going down to number 9. Obviously, as I start to reveal a few of them, it's going to be a little bit easier for you, and you'll be able to reshift your list around a little bit.
Right.
I don't know what a good score should be. Like if you get 5 of them, like exact, I think that's
if I get 5 score. Exact, you'll be pumped. I'm buying myself In and Out after this.
Nice. So maybe that's the winnings. You get In and Out. So we're gonna go kind of back and forth from like our faces to the screen as I reveal like these after you do your guess first. So Devin, let's start us off here. Tell me what you guessed for number 10. I'll give you one more hint. The 3 that I mentioned that are not Donkey Kong in the title, they are like 2 of them I put together at number 10 and one of them's at number 8. So I'll give you the location of those since they're so weird. But then the other ones, 9 and then 1 through 7, are all Donkey Kong games with like his name in the title. So 10 and 8 are the weird ones. And for number 10, I put 2, so I'll count either
That's
one.
Interesting, because for number 10, I put 2. I put Mario Strikers / Mario Party.
Okay, those are great guesses. Mario Strikers and Mario Party.
I liked Strikers. It was fun.
Yeah, that's the soccer one, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you the 2 that I did pick. The first one is just a little cameo that Donkey Kong had at the end of one of my favorite games for the Wii. And this is Punch-Out for the Wii.
Devin, I like that a lot. Yes, that guy was brutal in that.
Yeah, after you beat the main game with Soda Popinski and everybody else.
Lil Mac hard carries this game. I like
a hard game. Mac Donkey Kong was like the surprise last final boss. And man, just such a brutal fight. I don't think I ever beat this fight. It's hard. He has some weird punches because he'll like punch with his arms sideways and his legs, and he'll like do a double fisted punch, and yeah. But I really love the aesthetic of this game on the Wii.
Punch-Out's one of my favorite memories of old video games. It's up there very high.
Mm-hmm. Even that NES one, like even though it's like pixel art, it doesn't seem as old as it like actually is, because it looks so pretty. I feel like because they just focus on one square with Little Mac in the middle and you can't really move around, you can just kind of slide. they were like able to make the game really pretty within that set of it just sits still. And yeah, Donkey Kong being here um, is one of my favorite things that Donkey Kong is in. The other one I'll pull up here as well, and I will say, Devin, you were very close with um, Mario Strikers, but the one that I went with is not the soccer one, but it is also a sports game.
It's tennis, isn't it?
It's not Mario Tennis. I don't think we had a Mario Tennis game on the Wii, did we?
It's not tennis.
But we had this one, Mario.
We owned this
Super Sluggers, which was the
baseball
one.
It was a good time. I remember playing that.
Yeah, I liked this game more than I think I maybe should have, but it was pretty fun.
This is way fun.
And
I remember this very well.
Yeah, again, it probably wasn't insanely accurate with you pitching with the Wiimote and hitting with it, but
no,
it was I really liked this game on the Wii. So those two are my number 10. You were very close with the Strikers. Okay, Devin, we're gonna go back to our faces, and I want you to give me your guess for my number 9.
And you said number 9 is actually a Donkey Kong game?
It is. This is one that I don't think you've ever heard of, which isn't very helpful.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to guess it because my 8 and 9 both are not Donkey Kong games.
Okay. Then maybe I'll just give you I'll just reveal my number 9, and we'll leave your...
Perfect.
And then we'll go to number 8. My number 9 is one that I didn't play until a couple of years ago. It's from the Game Boy Advance, and it's pretty fun. It's like silly and kind of weird. But I had an okay time playing it. It has a very unique gameplay hook where Donkey Kong's arms are kind of like stuck upwards, and he swings from all of these little attachment points. It's called Donkey Kong King of Swing. And you'll notice here you like jump upwards and then you swing back and forth on all of these attachment points.
This is such an old-fashioned game.
Yeah, it really is.
Wild. I do like this though.
Yeah, it's silly, it's weird, and getting like the spinning correctly of the left and right is actually very tricky. I was not very good at it. But I did think it was a fairly fun time. Did I put this one on because it's excellent? No.
It's nostalgic.
But it's reminds me of the Game Boy Advance, which is a unit I really loved. And I really like Donkey Kong's like pixel character there while he's standing. Once he's in the air and his hands are up there, he looks kind of weird. But as soon as this bonus stage ends, just kind of watch DK walk off to the side. I like his pixel art model here on the
yeah, I noticed it too. It reminds me
of
things I've looked at online
and then
before.
Yeah, like that. Like he looks cool.
I think I had an emote of that.
So that was my number 9. Popping back over to our faces, I'll let you guess my number 8, which I gave you the hint of is not a game with Donkey Kong's name in the title. This is the last one.
This is the last one without his name?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I got 2 options here. I think I have to choose Super Smash Brothers. It's not. Is it Mario Kart 8?
It's
This is rigged.
very close. Let's pull up the game here, but I think my favorite game with Donkey Kong in it that comes from the Nintendo 64, and it's got to be Mario Kart 64. This again, kind of nostalgia gets me.
I did like this game.
Yeah.
I remember playing at our cousin's house. I probably was terrible at it, but the aesthetic of this game, once again, this is a deep pull from deep in my mind and that I love so much.
I think I love it because we didn't have a Nintendo 64 growing up, and so every time we did get to play this at our cousin Nick's or someone else's, like, I was like, wow, that is the coolest game like ever. And like I wanted one so bad because of that. And it is such a vibe.
It is.
DK
you can tell they're trying They're trying to dabble in understanding smooth drifting in this game, and it is not smooth.
The way
Look
the
at that.
camera
Holy.
angle lets you slide like all the
They
way.
need to like loosen up that camera. Oh.
Yeah, it's a little bonkers, but this one was such an improvement from the Super Nintendo one, even though I really like the Super Nintendo one, but hard to play. That I do think this is the one that like made Mario Kart break out.
So amazing.
Yeah.
I remember playing Mario Kart 64, but doing a lot of the battle mode with the balloons.
Yeah, with the balloons. That was a very fun mode.
Ah, such a cool game. What the heck? Simplicity is kind of nice in this.
Yeah, it really is. So, anyways, that was my number 8. Again, you were very close with Smash Brothers. I did like the first Smash Brothers a lot.
I did too. Yeah.
I didn't really love any of the later ones though. I think it was just place and time. I was the right age when the first one for the 64 came out. So that was a good guess, Devin. Okay, let's go back to our faces. And Devin, let's see if you can guess my number 7 favorite Donkey Kong game of all time.
For number 7, I put one that I wasn't sure that you had even played.
Interesting.
Because it came out this year. Donkey Kong Country Returns 2025. Did you play it?
Yes, but I haven't played it on the Switch version that just came out this year. I did play the Wii version. I have it and just over there.
I see.
And so let me show you what my number 6 actually is. But that's a great guess.
Oh no!
Or my number 7. Sorry, this is my number 7. Is Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble.
I have this on number 6.
Okay.
Just so you know. And I really enjoyed this game. I think I've beat this game twice.
Yeah, I think I've beat it 3 or 4 times.
Oh, I probably beat it 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah, I love this one. I couldn't choose which level I wanted to include here in the snippet, the like gameplay snippet, because there are a lot of cool ones, like transforming the elephant.
Yeah, you actually morph into animals in this.
Yeah, instead of riding them like in the second one. This game doesn't get as much love as the first two, but I think gameplay wise, it's just about as solid.
Yeah. The character movement feels very similar to the others.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of like the later one, and the Nintendo 64 might have already been out when this came out, so it was just kind of a timing thing. I don't like Baby Kong like as much as Dixie and Diddy. And like number 2 is just like a better like all around game in my opinion. So I don't love it quite as much, but man, I do love this one. Our neighbor a couple houses down had it when we lived when we were growing up. Yeah.
Crazy. And so I don't know how you remember that.
I remember playing. I used to babysit them, and we would play it while I was babysitting them. So, really love this one. I think in just a second, Dixie turns into the purple parrot. Oh yeah, right here. And I do like that in this one. You just turn into the animals. It's kind of clever.
Yeah, because previously you would have hung on its feet like that barrel, right?
Yeah. Which works just about the same gameplay wise, but it was a little busier. You're like, he's carrying 2 heavy things that are just kind of in the way of like the barrels and everything else. So yeah, that was my number 7.
It's a great pick. I like seeing this gameplay. Donkey Kong
Country. Number 3. Let's go back to number 6, Devin, and get your guess. If I'll give you one clue here, your 6 and 7 guesses were both very, very good.
So then it is that one.
That's a little bit of a gimme.
So I had those at 6 and 7, but opposite.
Yes. I just put
like I nailed 6 and 7 is what you're telling me. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think you pretty much did. I would maybe give you both of those just because you just had them reversed, and those are like 2 that I kind of went back and forth on.
Crazy. I'm actually very shocked. Okay.
So let me pull this.
I'm still going to say I have 0 points because I got them wrong. But the fact that I put those at 6 and 7 is proud of that.
Yeah, I think it was great. And I just love 2D Donkey Kong games. And I think these ones with like the sunset levels are probably like the most memorable from this game. but I mean, it had a lot of great levels. Also, like had the minecart levels, and I think the reason I don't love this one as much as some of the others is I don't super care about like the tiki enemies. It's like the like
Yeah, bring
some of
us
the
back the alligators.
yeah. Why do they not continue with the like King K. Rool? Because he's such a cool villain. And like these
Yeah.
tiki dudes are like not that exciting, in my opinion. But even though I don't love the enemies as much, gameplay wise, it's still very very awesome. I want to get the Switch version and play it, but it's hard for me to want to pay full price for a game that I have right over there that will play on my Wii U just fine. You know.
Exactly.
So that's Donkey Kong Country Returns. Um, here showing kind of the sunset level. For my number, what is that? Number 6, and you just had it at number 7. So good work there, Devin.
Thanks.
All right. Next up for number 5. Let's hop back to our face here and grill you while you guess this one.
For number 5, I put classic Donkey Kong, or whatever you would call arcade-ish Donkey Kong for you.
Oh, okay. So like the original arcade
barrel
cabinet.
throwing guy.
Okay.
Is that the one?
With Jumpman was the
Jumpman.
They hadn't named him Mario yet, I don't think. No, that was not my number 5. Good guess though.
It's on the list though, isn't it?
I will give you a hint. That game is not on my list.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
That game exactly.
It wouldn't be on my list.
Is not on my list.
There's a different one. There's a specific arcade he went to in Idaho.
Well, it's not an arcade one. So, let me show you what my number 5 is. This one is maybe going to be a little controversial because I know a lot of people do not like this one. But again, I was the right age, and finally seeing.
I know what it's going to be.
I
knew it.
Donkey Kong
I knew it.
Moved to 3D.
Look at it.
Was like so cool.
Again, it's like OG Croc times. Looks just like it.
Yeah. Again, we didn't have a Nintendo 64, but I went over to my friend like Jordan's house, and he
Bischoff's.
Yeah, I think it was them.
That's
and then I had another friend, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. I didn't know Donkey Kong could come out of 2 dimensions. I've played it a bit in the last couple of years, and it really is a little brutal to play.
I bet.
You like have to always be switching. They're like blue bananas that you can't get if you're Donkey Kong. You can only get them if you're Diddy. Or I don't remember if Diddy is blue, but he's a specific color. But I do love the aesthetic. It's kind of silly to see him with also like a watermelon cannon.
I also just like seeing these simple levels. It reminds me of old Banjo-Kazooie and just this aesthetic that's understandable, yet you kind of know where there are secrets. Everything is exposed. And you're like, okay, how do I take these thin pathways and find this secret? And it's this linear, it's a pretty linear idea with a couple secrets there. And there's something beautiful about those games.
Yeah, I agree. And there's an example of the red bananas that Donkey Kong can't grab. There's also some weird characters here. Like there's this like pink pork dude or pig looking dude. I don't even know what he is. There's also, in my opinion, way too many cutscenes at the beginning of the game. It like takes 20 minutes before you're like actually grooving.
I see.
But man, I think nostalgia wise, I like this one. I can see it's not as good of a game as like, and that's why I don't have it much higher than this. But
I used to work with a girl, and we watched an entire playthrough of Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64, just like this on YouTube. Yeah, and just would have it always playing. It was a good time.
Yeah, I think most people would prefer Banjo-Kazooie over this, but I think Banjo-Kazooie came after this game, and so this one kind of laid the groundwork for how they would do Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie is a cool character, like with the like bird on his backpack or whatever. Anyway, so that was my number 5, Devin. You were again pretty close, but less close that time. So there's only 4 more, and so I think.
This game is my number 4.
Yeah, so since you have the flexibility of changing now, so you know it's not going to be that. So you can change to what you, since you know things that I haven't said yet, that'll probably help you a bit.
I just don't know what this random old one that you've got on this list is. That's my issue. And since I don't know that, I'm going to guess for number 4, Donkey Kong Country 1.
Donkey Kong Country 1. Okay. Let's pull the actual one up here.
It's gonna
swap over to the screen.
Some arcade thing.
And good guess, Devin. It is Donkey Kong Country.
A huge.
I feel like a little almost sacrilegious saying this isn't like higher, but because this one is so excellent.
It's so dang good. Yes. Even this intro is amazing.
But it's a little bit shorter. But it really did cement like the minecart levels and like basically
it's so good.
The whole thing going forward.
My head's taking me to the variety and uniqueness of so many of the maps in this game, and it's so good.
Yeah, it is excellent. Just seeing it now, I'm like, man, I did put this too low. But
I know. I'm like
the ones I have above it, I do like better. So I think I'll stick with this, but this is probably the one I've played the most. Well, I don't know. It's close. So yeah, Donkey Kong Country, the first one, the original, at number 4 for me. Good job, Devin.
Gosh,
narrowing
so
that down.
Good. Thanks.
Yeah, so good. All right, back to face cam, and here is Devin's guess at my number 3 favorite Donkey Kong game of all time. We've got a bit of deduction done here because you know a lot of what I've already put down, but I think you're struggling with
I'm struggling because I think that you have a game that's not on my list that I know nothing about, that you probably played on the Game Boy that you loved or something, and I don't know what it is. So I guess, and I'm guessing that's what number 3 is.
Okay.
But if it's not, the only things I have on my list then would be at number 3. I have to go Diddy Kong's Quest.
Okay.
But I'm guessing it's the other game first. Whatever that other game is.
Okay, as that pulls up, I will say, Devin, that is some good deductive reasoning you've got going on.
Yep, I knew it. I knew it.
Because yeah, my number 3 is not Diddy's Conquest. It is Donkey Kong 94 is what they call it for the Game Boy. And man, I loved this game. I had that old brick Game Boy that my friend Patrick gave me, just like the original gray and white one.
I wish my friends gave me Game Boys.
He got a new one, and so he let me borrow it for a few months with this game. And I remember when we were playing it, we thought it was just the same as the arcade game. So you play through like level 1, and it's the same as level 1 at the arcade, and then you play through level 2, and level 3, and level 4, and then when you get to the end here of this last one where you like knock down all of the like joints of this little building that Donkey Kong's on, and he falls on his head, we thought like, okay, we beat the game. This is the same high score chasing thing as the arcade, so now we'll go through them again and try to get a higher score, and it gets like more difficult with more things on the screen the longer you stay alive. Then Donkey Kong gets up and jumps out of here. Mario chases him, and I think there were 96 more levels after that. And
Who did he just take away?
That's Pauline.
That's Pauline?
Yeah. And so this game started like the Mario versus Donkey Kong series. That's not what this one was called, but so from this point on, they become very puzzle heavy of like, okay, there's a key here and I need to get through the locked door, and I can do this special jump if I go into a handstand first that lets me jump higher, and I have to avoid enemies still while I'm trying to do this whole thing. And Donkey Kong, I'm going to run into him like every 4 or 5 levels. And there's just dozens and dozens and dozens of them, and you keep like going through these different areas. But you can kind of see it here as well. There's like still hammers, things to collect, and enemies and things on the screen, and got to get to the key. And they get pretty complex. It's kind of crazy for the Game Boy. There's a lot on that screen right now.
Yeah, kind of
and
awesome.
I think the levels might even start scrolling like a little bit. I can't remember if they scroll or not, but yeah, this one was the tricky one for sure, Devin, on the list. So totally understandable that you didn't know what it was. You got awfully close though with saying Donkey Kong arcade version, because that's basically what we thought this was.
Yeah, I even said on the Game Boy.
You did say on the Game Boy as well. So you were like 95% there for number 3. All right, we are back to our faces then, Devin. What is my number 2 favorite Donkey Kong game?
Do I get to guess the same thing?
You can guess. You can guess whatever you want. I think you can adjust your list based on the answers you have seen me give. So I think at this point you know what 2 are left.
I think I do,
and then you just have to decide what one you think I like better, which is gonna be tricky.
Adding nostalgia in and memories in is making this very tough for me, but I think that I'm sticking with number 2 is Diddy Kong's Quest.
Okay.
I think you're gonna switch that up on me, aren't you?
No, I'm not doing any switching. You can look at the master list when I'm done, but all right, going back to the screen.
Ain't no way.
My number 2 is not Diddy's Conquest. It's a Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which is an excellent game. But I think you're right. I think the nostalgia factor
just pushes it.
Pushes the other one above, and I don't know why that started there instead of at the level I told it to. But
and what about Tropical Freeze makes you love it so much? I've played this as well.
I think I think the 3 things are: they brought back David Wise, who did all of the music for the original Donkey Kong Country games. He didn't do the game prior to this one. So they brought him back. The soundtrack is amazing. Like, it's all new Donkey Kong music. It's so good. I think it has the most unique levels with like the best platforming sections. And I think it has like everything you'd want in a Donkey Kong game. It has the minecart levels. It also has like the rocket levels kind of from the game before this one. I think the enemies are cooler than the Tiki guys. They're like the frozen nomads, kind of led by the big walrus dude, I think.
Right.
On like the big ship, kind of look like Norse, kind of Norway looking ship or whatever. And I think it just plays really well. So I think those are probably the 3 reasons. Music is excellent. A bit more variety in the levels. Sound, I already said the music. And it's super smooth. I haven't played it since I beat it on the Wii U, but again, just because I'm having a hard time getting myself to pay $60 for the Switch version. But it's definitely worth it. If you haven't played the Wii U version, it's like so worth your money. It's not even funny. So good. This game does make me a little sad though, because the company that made this game and the one before it, I think, is Retro Studios, and they I think are working on Metroid 4, which is cool. Like, gives me good hope for a Metroid, which I will hopefully be excellent. But it also makes me sad that they're not making another 2D Donkey Kong game, because that team really knows what they're doing.
There's not one in production right now, or in
the works? At least not from Retro, unless they have 2 teams and like a small team is working on it, like on the side. So I don't know. I'm guessing that 2D Donkey Kong games don't sell super well. I bet they just sell like okay. And the new one, Bananza, where that's the Smash Fest and 3D and pretty on the Switch too. Like, I think it's gonna sell circles around like a 2D game like this, even though this would
much rather
be my preference.
I agree with that, actually.
Yeah. Devin, that just leaves one game then for my favorite Donkey Kong game of all time, and you've already said what it was and kind of basically got there. You just again had it swapped with a.
I had so many just swapped.
Yeah,
almost in the right position. It's crazy. I'm actually proud of my imperfectly perfect list.
Yeah, I think your list was really good. But yeah, Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest is for sure.
I've been calling that Diddy Kong's Quest the whole time since
I
I
think
was
everybody
5.
did Diddy Kong's Quest, but it's Diddy's Conquest, like a conquest.
Oh,
But,
never put
and
that together. That's crazy.
here's the boss we were just talking about with the
yeah.
pirate hat and the eggs. I think
Oh
this game has some
man.
of the very best music like ever, and
Yes.
just incredible levels all around. I think one of my favorite ones is it's this one right here with the lava and the spider.
The spider's the coolest character in the entire franchise,
Yeah,
probably.
so cool. Um, this one is also very hard.
Oh
Like
yeah.
finding those big DK coins in every level, super tough.
Come across that big jacked alligator
Yeah,
with the club. He's like, you ain't getting through
to
here.
get to the secret world. And I don't know that I've ever 100% of the game without there is a cheat. It's pretty cool. If you on the first level, you're on the pirate ship and you like run a little bit and then go inside the pirate ship and there's like a note there saying they've kidnapped Donkey Kong. If you get all the way there without getting a single banana, um, then it like was just like a secret that the team put in to like unlock like okay, you now have unlocked everything and can go play any level you want.
Oh wow.
So that's how I've gotten to the secret world because it is very hard. You have to have a ton of those coins. I'd like to 100% it like fully one day. So maybe I'm not a true Donkey Kong fan if I haven't done that. But man, we've played the crap out of this game though, so much. So
So many times.
that's my favorite Donkey Kong game.
And there you look at him.
Of all time. I do think Donkey Kong Bonanza will be on this list somewhere. Um, check out our first impressions video on the channel. We've only played like the first 4 or 5 hours so far. So I don't know at this point how high up it will be on the list. My guess is it would be like fifth at this point, but we'll see. I know there are some surprises, and hopefully it gets just a little bit harder, and hopefully it can be near the top. But we'll see. This one's definitely, I don't think, going to be topped though. So, anyways, Devin, that is my top 10 favorite Donkey Kong games. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, I liked that a lot.
And I think you had some. You basically directionally had them in like the right locations. Just like we mentioned, a couple of them flipped, and a couple of them that were very hard for you to have been able to guess. Mario Sluggers, Punch Out, and then the one on the Game Boy. They're kind of deep cuts. So, anyways, that is our fun little top 10 Donkey Kong games of all time list. And that is going to do it for the Super Game Brothers podcast. This is episode number 64. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Please make sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/supergamebrothers. For just a couple dollars a month, you can get early access to this podcast and our board game podcast, Gaming Top Down. And you can write into the show, vote on the games we play and cover, and just generally communicate with us. And it also helps us to keep the lights on. So please check that out. We also have the giveaway that we mentioned at the top. Make sure to check out Devin on Twitch at Player 4. And we'll see you next week for episode number 65.